there were a few English males who felt that I didn't have the right to make a Christmas film.
Really?
I carry the struggles of my ancestors from partition to as refugees. And then who do I know? I know Priyanka.
Yeah.
She's Bollywood.
Yeah.
She used to sing and she's a lovely friend of mine. You know, I have a lot of respect for her. You know, to go from very high up in the industry here, then go to America when no one knew who she was.
True.
I think nothing like a PCGC collab, right?
Yeah.
Oh my, that's Punjabis are in the house.
Oh
man.
my God, absolutely.
But the three of us are very close. We have our own WhatsApp group.
Oh, really?
And yeah, Mira called it the Benji Brigade. We have that relationship.
That's
also,
nice.
guy is Punjabi, you know?
Oh, yes.
And I knew his father. He had met Yash Johar somewhere. And he was like, "Chalo, ki ho raha?" I said, "Meri picture lagi hai." And he goes, "Chal, dekhte hain."
Hello everyone, welcome to News 18. I am Titas Chowdhury in conversation with Gurinder Chadha. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, good to meet you.
Welcome to Mumbai.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, nice to see the sun and the sea. And
This is a good time to be, you know,
Yes.
in Mumbai, I think.
Yes.
But, you know, let's talk about Christmas Karma. I watched it a few days back here. And I mean, I had a lovely time. I was laughing. And of course, the music. We'll have to talk about it. But tell me something. I think this is a shattering the glass ceiling sort of a moment, because here we have an Indian filmmaker making a Christmas film.
Yeah.
How are you? I know it has released already, you know, in the UK. It's going to be releasing in India very soon.
Yeah.
Are you a little apprehensive about how, you know, the Indian audience is going to accept it? Because number one, we are not used to festival films, and that too, this is Christmas.
Yes. Well, the thing is, if you grow up in England, like I have, Christmas is a big deal. You know, it's a big time for the whole nation. Everyone comes together regardless of religion, you know, because it's become like a big family affair. And we follow all the traditions, but at the same time, it's a time of great charity and giving, and we carry those values, whatever religion you are. So the fact that it's a national holiday as well, we've just over the years, it's just become an important part of our lives. But me, since I was a little child, we always used to celebrate Christmas. So we always had a Christmas tree. My father used to put whiskey out for Santa.
Yeah.
You know, we'd write letters to Santa. In the morning, we'd come down and Santa had eaten drunk all the whiskey, and the carrots had all gone for the reindeer. And it was a very, you know, very traditional upbringing I had around and then we always have a big meal. Then we used to watch the Queen's speech. Wow. And now I do the same thing with my own kids, you know. So for us, it's become definitely like a holiday in the way that people celebrate, say, Thanksgiving and also Diwali and in the giving of gifts. But we do Diwali as well. And I do Thanksgiving as well. So we do it all. But I think Christmas, the meaning of Christmas for me is about charity and about giving. And I think all religions follow that. And I think I wanted to make a Christmas film, a holiday film, that made me feel like my favorite Christmas film, which is It's a Wonderful Life by Frank Capra.
Yes.
So that film to me sums up everything to do with the human spirit. And I make my kids watch it every year, and my kids are like, "Mom, it's black and white." I'm like, "No, this film will teach you everything
Absolutely.
you need to know, you know." And a few years back, I was watching it yet again, crying, and my kids were watching me cry. And I just felt like I wanted to make a holiday film that made me feel like that. And why not? Why not? So Christmas is part of who I am as well as everything else.
Absolutely. So, like I was telling you, the film has released, you know, in the UK, and the reception has been sort of a mixed bag kind of a reception.
Yes.
And you interestingly had said that this is perhaps the bias, you know, against diaspora films.
Yes.
You know, how do you see that acceptance changing now, you know, for such films?
Well, I think what's been interesting is that the Asian community and all the Indian journalists have just raved about it and have loved loved the film and found it very emotional and touching. And also a lot of English people too. What's interesting, because we did exit polls, and the exit polls came out like 87%, excellent, very good, So audiences who see the film, really love the film. I think what happened was there were a few English males who felt that I didn't have the right to make a Christmas film.
Really?
Yeah, and so their position was very much, no, leave Christmas alone, it's our holiday. And so what you're seeing is this idea of bigotry, which is symptomatic of a lot of what's going on politically, around the world. And I just think that they actually did not ever engage with the subject matter of the film. They just did not like the idea of me, a British Indian filmmaker, making a film about their holiday as they perceived it.
Sure.
But then for me, that's what I always do. I mean, with Jane Austen, I didn't have any trouble. Everyone was like, oh yeah, Austen, great,
Yeah.
So it's interesting how times have changed, And for me, the film really resonates with anybody who appreciates the world from my perspective.
Sure.
And my perspective is a unique diaspora perspective. And I'm an Indian woman, I'm a mother, I'm raised in England. My cultural legacy is, my ancestors' journey, my parents' journey, my own journey. All this comes together in the subjects that I choose and how I try to tell the stories.
Sure.
And so I claim my films for being my own perspective. And I think in the current climate, I think that's threatening to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And especially as a woman, I think that sometimes because I'm telling historical stories from my historical perspective, when they would choose a different version of history, I think that is very threatening. And my film also touches on colonialism.
Absolutely.
And so when I choose to tell that story, of course it's not going to go down well with people who don't want to hear that narrative.
Very interesting you talk about this. I want to know, is it still a struggle to mount a film by an Indian maker about the immigrant community in the UK? What happened when you made your first film, Bhaji on the Beach? Was it difficult to mount that film?
So Bhaji on the Beach, I was very lucky because the woman who was in charge of Film 4 at the time, Karen Bambra, she saw my first short and said, this is an important new voice, I want to nurture it. So she nurtured me, and that's how I made Bhaji on the Beach. And then ever since then, it's always been a struggle to make a film.
I can imagine,
it's always a struggle to get our stories out there and told. And after Bend It, I was shocked that there weren't more films being made. I thought, that film has made so much money and has such an impact. I don't understand why there aren't more films coming from that perspective. Surely people would see that they make money, But it didn't happen. And now, Christmas Karma, I was struggling to make, and I've only really been able to make it because of the help of Civic Studios, an Indian company run by Anushka Shah, and also Sunil Sheth, who was my family lawyer who's retired now. He put together a consortium of people who wanted to support me, who loved my work, and said, we don't want to see Gurinder struggle to make a film. We're all going to put our hands in our pockets and support her. And so it's this lovely karmic thing where people are sort of coming to sort of support me.
Yeah. But it's sad. Gurinder Chadha at this stage still struggling to put a film together. It's just sad.
Well, it's life, Yeah. It's like I say, I carry the struggles of my ancestors from partition to as refugees to East Africa to immigrants to Britain. The fact that I was here only last month, selected by Keir Starmer, our Prime Minister, to be as part of a trade delegation to meet Prime Minister Modi and all the Indian members of Parliament for this UK-British trade thing.
Absolutely.
So I go from that sort of circle to still sort of struggling to tell my stories. it's quite interesting, you know.
It is.
But I think that the thing is, what I am is a very unique voice, you know. My version of history, my version of life in Britain, or my version is unique to my own diasporic upbringing. And that's why it resonates with other people who share that. And that's why, you know, my films talk to people. It's opened in Australia. There's been some lovely write-ups in Australia, Ireland. Interesting, these are countries where they have movements of people, you know.
Right.
But I think the thing in England is quite, in the end, I think those guys probably have embarrassed themselves, you know, because that's not the way people think anymore, you know. So, but, you know, Indians are used to that kind of pompous, British, you know, attitude.
That is true.
And my job is the same as all of our ancestors, is to challenge that.
To challenge. So I will have to talk about Priyanka Chopra Jonas. And I just heard you telling someone that, you know, how close a friend she is to you.
Yes.
Now, she has definitely paved the path for a lot of South Asians, Indians. That's there. And the friendship is also there. But the idea to get Priyanka Chopra to sing Last Christmas here in Christmas Karma, was it somewhere also dictated by the fact that, okay, I think this is going to also be a good marketing strategy to tap into various markets?
Well, when I met the George Michael people, I had met them for lunch about something else, and they saw that I was doing a Christmas film. So they said, why don't you use Last Christmas? And they said, why don't you do a Bollywood version? Do something different. George would have loved that. So that's when I started thinking, you know. And then who do I know? I know Priyanka.
Yeah.
She's Bollywood.
Yeah.
She used to sing, and she's a lovely friend of mine. And so that's why I called her. And I just said, look, Yar, it was one of those. Yar, what do you think?
Yeah.
She said, you're mad. You know? And I said, come on, it'll be a laugh. It's a tamasha thing at the end of the film. And I think she just wanted to have some fun, you know. But also, as a woman, she has always supported me. And I her. And I said, let's go. You know, I have a lot of respect for her. You know, to go from very high up in the industry here, then go to America when no one knew who she was.
True.
And she went in, did all the hard work, had the meetings, and has made a name for herself over there. It's a very impressive thing. And unless you do that, you know, it takes a lot of courage to do that, you know. So I have a lot of respect for her, and she is always supporting people of the diaspora. She's always, you know, particularly women.
Yes.
So that's why I called her, because they said do a Bollywood version. I'm like, well, she's who I know who sings.
Right.
And so that's kind of how it happened.
Yeah.
But also we had fun. It was fun. I had my dog in it. She's singing to my dog.
Oh, that's your dog.
That's my dog.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my lovely little Boba. He's in the poster even, look.
Oh, is there?
He's in the poster.
But was there a thought of casting Priyanka Chopra in the film?
No,
Maybe.
No, because I'd already...
You had already made it. Okay.
I'd already gone... I hadn't made it.
Yeah.
At that, have I made it at that point? I had made it at that point, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'd started shooting. Yeah.
Great, but hopefully there will be a Gurinder Chadha GC-PC collab maybe.
Won't that
very
be cool?
soon. That would be super cool.
Super cool. And we have talked in the past.
Okay.
And we are talking, and there are various things that people are, you know, talking to us about, interested in. I think nothing like a PCGC collab, right?
Yeah.
Oh my, that's Punjabis are in the house.
Oh
man.
my God, absolutely.
That would be sick.
Yeah, but you know, speaking of collabs, there's one more thing, like you and Mira Nair, I think very distinct voices, you know.
Yes.
Many would even say two different schools of cinema in a way.
Yeah.
But has there ever been a conversation to just work together? Has there been offers ever?
Can you imagine me and Mira sitting there directing a scene together?
Oh my God.
I don't think so. Poor actors is all I would say.
No, don't say that.
No, only because, you know, she has a completely amazing vision that is her vision. And it's so different to mine. even though we're both women and Punjabi women, Mira grew up in Delhi.
Right.
She is a Delhiite. She may live in Uganda, she may live in New York, but the way she thinks, she thinks like that.
Right.
And you think like where you've grown up, is my opinion. So when I speak and I talk about things, I sound like her son, you know, because her son has that diasporic energy, you know, and his love of music and hip hop and everything, you know, it's different.
Yeah.
And so I think that mine is a fusion culture. She is a Delhiite. Even Deepa Mehta.
Deepa Mehta, yes.
Yes, yes.
Right.
But the three of us are very close. We have our own WhatsApp group.
Oh, really?
And yeah, Mira called it the Benji Brigade. That's us. And I'm like not sure about the word Benji, but that's her word.
But that's a fantastic spin on the narrative, I think.
Yeah, the three of us, and you know, we were with her during her son's race and wishing her well and everything. So we do talk.
That is good. You know, I'll have to cut this interview short now because I'm getting the cue. But, you know, I'll have to ask this. You recently hosted a screening, I think, for Homebound.
Yes.
Yes. And, you know, it's such a fantastic, proud moment for us, you know, Indians. You met Karan, you know, you met them all.
Yes.
How was it like? What's your thought on the film?
Well, Karan I've known for a long time, very long time.
Right.
And so when he called me, he said, will you please host? I said, yeah, of course, yeah, no problem. And I saw the film and I really enjoyed the film. So it was a no-brainer. And it was wonderful to see it with a British audience. And what I thought was remarkable about the film was how it just reminded us all about how we were connected at that time. And the way the coronavirus started and how it started affecting us all. You know, so that is the universal quality of that film. I loved that.
Yeah.
And the way the story unfolded. You know, so it was an absolute pleasure and an honor to talk to Neeraj, Ishan, Vishal, and even Karan. But I had a few laughs with Karan, I must say.
Yeah.
You know, during our Q&A, and he was very gracious and very funny. You know, I said to Neeraj, I said, with Karan as your producer, was there no point where there was pressure to move away from this sad storyline and go, and he said, no, Karan never asked for that. I said, oh, what a shame. So we had laughs as well. Yeah. And even my premiere screening, Karan is going to do the Q&A with me. So I'm sure he's going to rib me something terrible at my screening. But it's nice. We have that relationship.
That's nice.
Also, Karan is Punjabi, you know.
Oh, yes.
And I knew his father, you know. I met his father.
Yash Johar.
Yash Johar, along with Yash Chopra Ji. I met them both in London.
Oh, okay.
You know, when Bend It came out. In fact, I took them. Yash Ji saw it in Cannes, actually, in 2002. That's when I first met Karan, when Karan and Yash Ji saw it at the cinema in Cannes. And that was the first time I met Karan in 2001, I think that was. And they both came out and they were smiling and he was like, shabash, like this. And then in London, I had met Yash Ji somewhere and he was like, chalo ki ho raha? I said, meri picture lagi hai. And he goes, chal. Dekh there. So we got in a taxi, I took him to Leicester Square and we watched the film together.
Fab.
And he was going, wonderful job, well done Gurinder. So it was nice, I got the blessings of these great people, these great producer directors.
Yeah.
And but it was the Punjabi connection that they loved.
Absolutely.
So with Karan, he's mera Punjabi pra hai. For all his fancy schmancy, you know, whoever he is, at the end of the day, that Punjabi thing is there.
Fantastic. But thank you for this chat. I wish you all the very best for Christmas Karma.
Thank you.
We have also heard that a sequel is in the works for Bend It. So good luck for that too.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.